Hello silly bakers, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Nini and I love to create healthier recipes. So today I'm making something that I never thought that I would make, and that is a healthier tiramisu. So a lot of people have said, please don't mess with a tiramisu, but I decided to mess with the tiramisu. I love the flavors of tiramisu. I just don't eat tiramisu often. I don't make it often because of the amount of lactose that's in the mascarpone. And number two, it's not an inexpensive recipe to make, but it is a recipe that is just one of a kind. You can't replace tiramisu, but I love the flavors and I wanted to create something that mimicked those flavors. So we are making a base that's almost like a spongy cake kind of base, but it's really similar to the texture of those cookies, the Savoiardi cookies, really soaking up that coffee. And that was my goal, to get that texture. And the topping is a cottage cheese topping. So it's a blended cottage cheese topping. You don't have to use cottage cheese if you don't love it. You can use a thicker Greek yogurt. You can use ricotta cheese. You can use a combination of those things. But I wanted to create this to be more something that I could eat for breakfast, as a snack. If you want to make this more of a dessert, you can definitely serve it as is, but I would incorporate maybe a little bit of whipping cream into that cream mixture, but I'll tell you a little bit about that later. So why don't we take a few minutes to learn how to make this really delicious, healthy, high protein tiramisu.
You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want to grease a 9x9 baking pan. This is a ceramic baking pan. These are your dry ingredients. This is a half a cup of oat flour, a quarter cup of almond flour, a third a cup of tapioca starch, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And you're just going to mix that and then just set it aside. We need 4 eggs for this recipe, and we're going to separate the eggs. So 4 egg whites in one bowl and 4 egg yolks in another. So let's begin with our egg yolks. We're going to add 1/4 of a cup of coconut sugar. You can use whatever sugar you like. With our hand mixer, we are going to mix this for 3 to 4 minutes until it's pale and creamy. And then we're going to set that aside. Let's whip our egg whites. I'm using the whisk attachment on my immersion blender, so we're going to whip them until they get to stiff peaks. Again, maybe 2-3 minutes. If you pick up the bowl and move it around, the mixture will not move, so you're good. Now we are going to mix half of those egg whites into the egg yolks, and we're just going to mix that through just to lighten up the mixture. You don't have to worry about being delicate here at this stage. Once that's done, we are going to add in the rest of the egg whites. And at this stage, we just want to fold in those egg whites. We don't want to deflate them. So we're just going to grab our spatula and we're just going to go around and under until you don't see any more of the egg white. And we're good. Now we are going to sift in half of our flour mixture. I like to sift it in just to create this lighter texture. Because we're using oat flour, you're going to see some oats there. You could just add it in. We're going to fold the dry mixture into the wet mixture. And just stop mixing once you don't see any more flour, and then you're going to add the rest of your flour, again sifting it into the mixture. And again, gently just folding those dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Once you don't see any flour, just stop mixing and you're good. Now we're going to add the mixture to our baking pan, and you're just going to spread it in an even layer, corner to corner, and just be delicate. We don't want to deflate it too much. We are going to bake at 350 for 18 to 22 minutes. Once a toothpick comes out clean, it's ready. Nice golden, and we're going to let this cool completely. For the coffee, you can use whatever strong coffee you have, freshly brewed. You can use espresso powder, you can use freshly made espresso, whatever you like, you can use for this recipe. This is 1 tablespoon plus 2 teaspoons of espresso powder with 3/4 cup of hot water. I'm going to add a few more ingredients to the coffee to give it a little extra flavor. This is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm going to sweeten up with 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. If you want this to be more of a dessert or classic tiramisu flavors, you can add some alcohol, so some dark rum or some amaretto. Now just let that coffee cool along with the cake. Once the cake is cooled, we're going to use a fork and we're going to poke holes throughout the entire cake. This way, once we pour the coffee, it'll soak evenly into the cake. We're going to grab our cooled coffee and we are going to pour it over the cake, all over, ensuring that we're getting coffee in all of those holes that we've poked through. We're going to let this hang out for 10 to 15 minutes to absorb. Let's make our cream topping. We're going to add 1.5 cups of blended cottage cheese. Again, you can use cottage cheese with Greek yogurt, just Greek yogurt, but a cottage cheese with yogurt, whatever you like, 1.5 cups worth. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup and 1 teaspoon of good quality vanilla. And we're just gonna mix that. If you want this to be more dessert-like, I would grab 1/2 cup of whipping cream, whip that to firm peaks, and then fold that into the cottage cheese mixture. We're going to spread that mixture evenly across. And lastly, we're gonna sift some cocoa powder directly on top, all over the tiramisu. I like to refrigerate for a minimum of 1 hour before digging in. Enjoy our high protein, healthy tiramisu. So good.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to our channel for more healthy recipes. If you do try this healthy tiramisu recipe, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, happy baking.